well. But he also feels sad knowing they will all go their separate ways soon, which quickly grabs everyone's attention. Vivia admits he will be quite lonely, making Henrietta wonder if she should hold off work for a while. But Dennis calls the emotional duo idiots. He tells them to show no hesitation and stick with the path they chose. His wise words make Bockel and Vivia feel better, and Henrietta gets so hyped. She says she is ready to leave town starting tomorrow. But Aetlier smugly reminds the girl her job didn't start yet. After that, Dennis tosses some rice into a bowl and shows off his cooking skills. Beams of light shoot out of the pan as he throws in the seasoning and stirs it like a pro, leaving everyone stunned with his mouth-watering 5-star fried rice. The group gets ready to dig in, but the strange chewing noises of a sweaty merchant gobbling up rice nearby draw their attention. Polvo admits he could not hold back after smelling something so good, and Dennis recognizes him as that shady merchant who once tried to outbid him on Aetlier. But when he forgets his name, Polvo looks crushed, though as soon as Aetlier says his name, the greaseball tries to win her over and make her work at his shop. But Dennis shuts him up and tells him to keep his hands off his poster girl. But he thanks the man for helping with the rice cooker, which let him enjoy Aetlier's tasty egg porridge, which was so good he plans to put it on the menu. With that said, Dennis politely asks the creepy merchant why he showed up. But Polvo begs him not to call him a pervert in front of Aetlier. Next, Polvo says he heard about the big feast and wanted to treat Dennis and the rest with a generous offer of top-tier Hagen beef. Seeing that, the three drool like crazy and gladly take him up on it. Once Polvo pulls out his signature knives, his girls toss the meat into the air, and Dennis slices it with sharp precision into perfect bite-sized cuts ready to grill. While everyone is stunned by how good the meat tastes, Polvo gets depressed because he only wanted to treat Aetlier with his meat. Seeing the cutie pie feed Dennis, Polvo burns with jealousy and starts crying, saying he wants her to feed him too. Dennis asks her to choose, and she decides to fulfill the big guy's wish, who blacks out from a nosebleed after just one bite. After dinner is over, Vivia tells Dennis that he wanted to ask something personal for a long time, and brings up how the judge called him Dennis Blacks in court, which made him wonder if Dennis has ties to the Blacks restaurant. Dennis explains that he got the family name from the head lady who adopted him, but he stopped using it after a fight with her. Hearing about the fight, Vivia gets curious, so Dennis shares that it happened when he hit level 99, and he did not realize at the time that she was only trying to keep him humble. Vivia is shocked that someone like Dennis was ever arrogant, though it makes sense because it is a big deal to reach level 99 at his young age. Dennis smiles and says he thought he would hit 100 just as easily, so he left the Blacks restaurant to prove himself and show the chef lady what he was capable of. And soon after that, he ended up in the Silver Wing Battalion, where he stayed the longest. Even though they treated him well, he never reached level 100 in the end. Back in town, the two regular girls get excited over what they will eat that night. But when they arrive at the restaurant, they read a notice saying it is closed due to personal business, and their excitement dies on the spot. Suddenly, a pair of rascals roughly shoves one of the girls, and when her friend tries to step in, he threatens her with a knife before walking off. Seeing that they want to fight, the blonde girl summons a magic bow and fires an arrow right where it hurts, while her friend uses her magic to punish the other one. As the girls laugh after serving them justice, they notice a loud crowd gathered outside the restaurant because of a fire. Meanwhile, Dennis is worn out from all the drinking, and Henrietta says she wants to have parties like that as much as possible from now on. But the mood turns serious when Aetlier suddenly stops after spotting a fire in the distance right next to the restaurant. Dennis stares in confusion as Vivia wonders if it is a bonfire or something. But when the truth hits him, he runs as fast as he can, praying it is not what he thinks it is, yet reality is cruel. All of them freeze in horror at the sight of the place where it all began, burning to the ground. While Dennis is lost on what to do, the onlookers yell for anyone with water magic to help, and when Bockel asks him what they should do, he snaps out of it. At that moment, the regular duo reveals that the two men tied up were behind the fire, and Vivia instantly recognizes them as members of the Night Mist Party. The thugs yell that Dennis deserved it because he got too full of himself, and the other horrifies everyone by shouting that the Silver Battalion, Hauswerkstatt, and Night Mist Party all hate his guts and want to destroy him. Dennis feels the earth below him disappear when they say he and his friends will suffer till the day they die. After the fire settles down, he steps inside the ruined building, remembering how the cozy restaurant of his dreams used to look like before the fire. Suddenly, Henrietta's crying breaks the heavy silence, while Vivia believes it is his fault because Dennis made enemies with them for helping him. Bockel also feels guilty since Night Mist Troop attacked him because of her, but Dennis assures them they did nothing wrong. Rather, he is shocked that the Silver Battalion is involved and guesses that Aether's uncle Joseph probably gave the order to Captain Vigo, who then used Night Mist Troop to handle his dirty work. He realizes he got too cocky and ended up with more enemies than he can handle, but Vivia insists he did nothing wrong, and they should hit back at everyone for messing with him like he always does. Dennis cuts him off, saying he can simply open another restaurant. At this point, he is tired and feels grateful no one got hurt. Watching him give up drives the girls crazy, but he says revenge is not as simple as they think. While he is strong on his own, the kingdom's nobles and the top party have enough manpower to crush him, so he forces a smile and tells them all to go home for the night. As he quietly walks away, Vivia asks where the fiery Dennis, who was ready to fight the whole kingdom for Aether, went, and Dennis replies that his head is a lot cooler now. After that, he checks the vault, which still has the money inside, and Aether asks him if he truly is fine with his decision. He says it is fine because if he pushes back, his enemies will only get fiercer, and he might end up losing someone if things turn ugly. So he is satisfied with getting out while he can. Outside, a gang of thugs closes in on Vivia and the girls from every side. Meanwhile, Aether gently asks Dennis if she can still stay with him, but Dennis tells her not to be so formal since Joseph only punished him for his disrespect in court. He also apologizes because the books she inherited from her father are now gone in the fire. Aether replies that she is fine with that, but the one thing she cannot bear is seeing Dennis with a sad face. After that, she fist bumps him, and he promises to come back for a visit once things settle down. Outside, Vivia and the girls are confused to see all the people who gathered, and when Dennis walks out with Aether, everyone stares at him with a serious face. Bockel says they will not let him sneak out in the dark, and Henrietta calls him a complete coward. When he asks them for the reason, Vivia explains that Dennis is the kind of person who cannot stand to see others get hurt. But when it is his turn, he does not care if he is hurt himself. The boy asks him if he still does not understand why they are gathered for him in the middle of the night. The three shout that everyone cares about him, so when he is sad or hurt, they feel sad and hurt as well. Vivia reminds him they are all outcasts just like him, so they are ready to be cast out again when the time comes. But he says this is not that time because there are many people who want him to stay, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to keep him in town. The girls say he belongs there, and no one can kick him out as long as they are by his side, and right when he least expects it, Paulvo also appears, saying no one dares to hurt his Aether and walk away with it. The two regular ladies also join in, and the men in green armor, whom he definitely does not remember, also come to show their support. The girls tell Dennis it is time for him to stop his tough guy act and fight together with them, and Vivia urges him to hold on tight to what he treasures the most. Seeing all this, Dennis feels lame because he was the one who always told others to hold on tight to what is precious. And now he is on the receiving end of his own words right when he was about to let go of his dream. At that moment, Aether tugs his shirt, and when he sees the look in her eyes, he drops the bag and gets ready to give it a shot. Everyone cheers when they see him fired up, and he says he does not want to be seen as a coward after all. That embarrasses Henrietta, and she only said it to hype him up before she quickly changes the subject to deciding a name for their team. Bockel agrees that it will make them sound official, so Aether suggests they call it Outcasts Restaurant. Dennis finds the name a little rough, but it suits them quite well, and with that, Vivia asks the leader of Outcasts Restaurant to give a speech. So Dennis declares that his team and the townsfolk will crush their enemies, and they will go as far as it takes to make sure justice is served to the villains who burned down his dreams. After that, Vivia asks him what exactly his plan is, and that throws Dennis off. Just then, Katie calls out his name, but she realizes she is too late. She pulls him aside to apologize on behalf of the whole party, but he tells her it was not her fault. A few hours earlier, Katie tells him how Captain Vigo asked a hooded man if he had told the Night Mist Troop about the plan, and the man asked if he was sure about the idea to burn down the restaurant. Vigo made it clear he only told that party about the situation, and it was completely their choice how they carried out the job. And when the man tried to argue, the captain asked him if he had a problem. That was when Katie ran as fast as she could to warn him before it happened. Dennis tells her not to worry about it and asks her instead about Vigo's next plans because he has to stop him. Hearing that, Katie says she is also at fault for letting Vigo run wild and bows an apology because she is still the vice captain of the Silver Wing Battalion, and she cannot help him in the plan against her own party. She walks away after that, and Dennis says he was asking too much since she is also one of Vigo's victims. Hearing that, Katie says she is just about to talk to herself, and lets him in on a secret. The next morning, the Outcast party heads out in horse carts, where Dennis shocks his team with the fact that the head chef of Black's restaurant and his foster parent, Gene Black's, is level 100. The three instantly think his master might be some kind of monster in a chef's costume, making him worried about the nonsense they are imagining. Still in shock, Bacall says reaching level 100 is no joke, and Vivia explains that level 60 is the limit for normal people, and only a few talented individuals make it to 80. Very few ever reach above level 90, even after training.